Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Nay. So today I'm going to be talking about boundaries, all right? And I think I'm going to focus more on boundaries when it comes to relationships, friendships, connections that you might grow, right? So when it comes to boundaries, I don't want anyone to be like afraid, or you might be like feeling like, oh, it's cliche. Everyone's talking about boundaries, boundaries. Set your boundaries. Like, how do you set your boundaries? You got my mom. How am I supposed to set boundaries with my sibling or my boyfriend or my girlfriend? Like, nobody understands them, or nobody respects them, or everybody just says it, blah, 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 blah. It's just an aesthetic, blah, blah, blah. Listen, let me show you how you can set some boundaries. All right. Listen to this message. All right. So, when it comes to, let's start with a relationship. Say you're someone who are still in the process of healing because maybe you're not at that stage where you feel like you're completely healed enough to be in a relationship, right? Because again, we sometimes don't even realize that we have to heal certain things until we get into certain positions or around certain people, affiliated with certain jobs, environments, you know what I'm saying? And then something triggers us and now we have to go into a deep healing. So sometimes we're never fully healed, right? When we are stepping into our next phase, and that can include relationships. So God might have it, or you might have it, if you moving faster than you should be, where you get into a relationship and this person is intended to help you heal through some things, right? So say you're someone who's still struggling with this is just an example, trust issues. You might have had a relationship that you came out of, and you might be out of this relationship like 2 years now, 3 years now, but because of the things that you went through in that last relationship, now you're coming into this relationship with some boundaries. So some things that you're just like non-negotiables. All right. And, sometimes that's okay, as long as you're not basically making the new person pay for what the last person did, but it's okay to say like, all right, I've learned in my last relationship that I really do like to have space. Like, I don't want space to where my man is feeling neglected and we got to be in separate homes all the time or sleeping in different beds. No, I don't want space like that. But I do like to have my alone time just to watch my favorite show at times, or after I get off work, I do like to spend my alone time in a bath, really just not being bothered. And I don't know how to tell my partner this without him or her feeling like I'm trying to push them away or something like that. Like, this is just an example, right, where you learn from your last relationship that you do require space just to regroup and process and think things over. So there's nothing wrong with that. In your new relationship, you can make that known to your person, in the beginning, so that it doesn't feel like it just came out of nowhere if you guys get into a relationship and then you come and say, hey, I need space. Because everybody knows how it feels to be in a relationship with somebody and then they hit you out off guard like, I need space. You're like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So if you let it be known off rip before you even get to that level with someone, they cannot get upset or offended when you decide that it's time for you to apply that space, right? So that could just be an example. Or maybe you're someone where your boundary is you don't want to live with your partner until you guys are married because you did that in the past and you just don't want to deal with the headache, you know what I'm saying, what comes with that. And you rather just be married so that things are more official, signed and sealed, right? And that's a boundary. That could be a non-negotiable for you. Again, let this be known to your partner before he even become your partner. As you are dating and getting to know people, these are the things that you're supposed to speak on so that you can see who is going to acknowledge your boundaries and who's not going to acknowledge. Because the person that's not going to acknowledge, that wants to just breeze through and say, forget your boundaries, forget how you feel, they're the red flag, and they who you ain't supposed to be dealing with. If we start to set our boundaries beforehand and make it clear, we will avoid a lot of situations, okay? A lot of people we would have never even dealt with if we would have been on this type time. That's why it's better to just do it off rip, because people wait until they get deep into a relationship, and then now you want to set some boundaries, and it could start havoc in your union. So it's okay to come in and have some things that, you know, are non-negotiable for you, because maybe you learned your lesson in a past relationship, as you should. Each relationship should be a level up. Each relationship you should take from what you learned from the last. But again, you should not be making your new person have to suffer or deal with the consequences of what your last person did. No, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. But it's okay to set boundaries, So like, say your boundary is, you don't like for your partner to have the opposite sex friends, right? Maybe that's just a boundary that you just don't want crossed, right? Or maybe you're someone who do have opposite friends, and that's a boundary that you don't want crossed, because it's like you need a partner that trusts you and believes that this is just your friend, because this may be honestly just your friends. You could just be someone that's a people outgoing person and you just have a lot of friends, but you guys are never intimate, or it's never nothing like that. And this could be a boundary or a non-negotiable that your partner has to accept, that you have, friends or loved ones, whatever it might be. Y'all get what I'm trying to say here? Everybody boundaries can be different for their life. All right. Someone boundary could be about cooking. Like I don't want to cook. Or my boundary for someone could be like, oh, we have to cook. I like home cooked meals. I like cooking with my wife. I like cooking with my girl, or I like cooking with my man. You know what I'm saying? That could be some type of non-negotiable. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be a boundary where maybe you don't have the best relationship with your family, and you want to set a boundary where like nobody could come between you and your partner. Okay? You can't have conversations with my family members without letting me know, or you know what I'm saying? Like, these are some things that just can't be crossed. This could be non-negotiables, right? A non-negotiable or boundary is like my partner, you're not just going to be like buddy with my family members or something like that. I don't know. Maybe someone has that type of boundary. You get me? Or maybe someone boundary is, oh, I want to work on my business and I need somebody that's supportive of that. Non-negotiable, period. Like, you know what I'm saying? It could be so many things. Or maybe a boundary for you is you want someone that has their own business, or someone that has that mindset to be an entrepreneur, because maybe in the past you dealt with someone who doesn't have the mindset to be an entrepreneur, and you guys had a lot of friction within your connection because they just didn't understand the mindset that you were operating in. You get me? So you can set up many boundaries when it comes to relationships. Say you have children. A boundary could be, you cannot discipline my child, especially without letting me know. All right? Or a boundary could be, oh, you can't, you got to go through the child. Don't be talking to your baby mama or your baby daddy. I don't play that shit. That could be someone's boundary. Like, listen, that's where I cross the line. You get me? So it's okay to set these boundaries. It just got to make sense. And you cannot be setting boundaries really based off of insecurities and things that people did to you in the past. It's more so things that you feel in your heart is like a non-negotiable, or boundaries that you need to set for yourself, not because of someone else's actions in the past. Do y'all get what I'm saying? You don't want to set boundaries because of someone else. You don't want to do anything really because of someone else. You want to do it because this is what you believe. This is what it is in your heart. This is what's telling you that you want to do. Don't be setting no boundaries or saying that you want this, and that because maybe your ex had these type of boundaries and non-negotiable, so now you're trying to use those for the next. No, make sure that the reason why this is what you want to do is because this is what you want to do, right? So now let's talk about like friends. Maybe boundaries for friends could be like, oh, after I keep telling you about this situation and I already told you, like, I don't like this person for you. My boundary, I'm not about to keep, entertaining this. I don't want you in this relationship. This man is abusive, or this person is just not the right person for you. This woman is not the right woman for you. I keep telling you this. We keep having these conversations. I'm setting a boundary now where like you cannot come to me to just dump or trauma dump all of this because I'm sick of it. You don't actually want to change, the situation. You just want to stay the victim, so I'm removing myself from this situation. I still love you, but I just don't have the room or capacity to, hold on to that. That could be you setting a boundary. Like, you just don't want to get involved with someone's messy bullshit with their relationship because they actually is toxic, and they actually come to you all the time and you give them good advice and they never take your advice. That could be you setting a boundary. Like, listen, I love you, but I don't want to get involved with none of that because you don't listen to what I have to say. You don't listen to my advice, right? A boundary could be you don't want nobody to ever live with you. Maybe you have experience in the past where someone stayed with you in the past. This could have been a family member or a friend, and now you have a boundary set where nope, you don't let nobody live with you because you've been through that. They don't want to pay, or people are messy, they're dirty, whatever the reason is. You get what I'm saying? When it comes to friends, or maybe you have a boundary where it's like, say you have kids, you only want to deal with friends that have kids or that understand children, you know what I'm saying? Or say you're married, your boundary is you only want to deal with married friends or married couples. Like, those are the type of friends that you want to be fellowshipping with. You fellowshipping with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these boundaries can really be small, and some can be super, super big. It really just depends. But you just got to make sure they make sense, especially to yourself, and they fit for your life. Don't do anything because someone else is doing it or someone else did it to you. Do it because you feel like this is what you're supposed to be doing. If someone is toxic, if someone is always victim, if someone doesn't want to change their story, and maybe you're tired of just hearing them complain and whine all the time, set a boundary. Hey, listen, I got a lot going on in my life. Lately, when I've been talking to you, it's just been a little bit draining, and maybe we just both need to just lock in with God, because I don't think we really helping each other right now. It feels like I'm enabling you. I don't know. I don't know what it is you got to say or what it is you got to do, but I'm just, throwing out little examples and things that might be said, okay, when it comes to setting boundaries, right? Maybe it could be many. There's so many examples of boundaries. I just can't. And I feel like I'm about to just end this video because I feel like I fulfilled my purpose of this video, which was to talk about like boundaries within a relationship or a friendship, or another one could be in a relationship. Your boundary is, I don't do the talking to exes. Like, you can't be friends with your exes or whatever like that. Like, maybe that's a boundary, a non-negotiable for you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you're going to set the line if someone is too much of a mama's boy and they don't know how to put their woman or put their wife before their mom. That could be something that's a non-negotiable for you. You know what I'm saying? Or, I don't know, maybe you're changing careers, or you're trying to change atmospheres because you're just tired of talking about the same thing or doing the same thing that you used to do growing up, or being around the same people, and now you're setting boundaries within these people because you want new people, you want new friendships, new relationships in your life. You know what I'm saying? It's so much that people can do. I want you to understand that there's nothing wrong with setting boundaries. Do it if it's helping you. If someone is draining, and every time you talk to them, it feels like they're just sucking you dry, maybe you need to set a boundary. Even if it's your parent, even if it's a cousin. If someone always coming to you with problem, and you just feel so drained after talking to them, maybe you need to set a boundary. If someone always coming to you with just, like I said, problems, they never have good news, good solutions, there's always something bad going on in their life, always gossiping, maybe you need to set a boundary. We be trying to figure out what's going on in our life and why certain things is coming into our life. And, take a look around at the things that you're entertaining. Maybe it's time to set that boundary against your mama because she's toxic. If it's going to help you be at peace, then maybe you should think about it. It doesn't matter who it is, right? It does not matter who it is, because the people that be closest to you and they be having these titles or blood relatives or whatever, blood relations, they be the main ones that might, really finesse or dump you with so much and then try to guilt trip you when you decide to break away or leave from them or set a boundary. So don't always think, oh, because it's family, oh, because it's close friends, oh, it's a relative, you got to stay and stick and you can't set a boundary, because they be the main ones that guilt trip you when you do set that boundary. And that ain't nothing but the devil. That ain't nothing but the devil. Because at the end of the day, people should respect your boundaries, respect why you operate in the way that you do, especially if you're not harming nobody, you're not disrespecting nobody, you're not, being rude to nobody, you just minding and tending to yourself. Do what you got to do, babe. For real, for real. So, yeah, I'm definitely ending this video now, for sure, for sure. But I just wanted to come on here and explain a little bit about what some boundaries might look like within, friendships, maybe a family dynamic, and also within a relationship. So I hope this message helps someone, and I'll catch you on my next video. Bye.